got a good question today from one of our friends on YouTube who's having issues with a mindset/ego problem. So what's happening is they've been training for a year and a half and everything's on the up and up. Developmentally, their skills and things like that, great. But the problem that they're running into is that when they train with someone of a similar skill level, right, they turn it into me versus you in their mind, right? This is having a negative effect with the relationship with their training partners, and it's also having a negative effect on their body because they're getting injured during training because they're probably rolling like a madman and they're probably not tapping like they should. And they're looking for a way to deal with this. So first off, before I get into the tips that I'm going to share with you, let me share that I was in that boat, and I probably was 10 times worse than you. I've never met someone as bad as me. Like if I was at my gym, I would have been kicked out long ago. When I would train with someone and they beat me or submitted me, because I had such a fragile, insecure self, right? My ego was so fragile, I would get up and I would stomp the mat, I would cuss, I would run around, just like, breathing like a damn gorilla or something, and then I would come back and like, let's roll again. I had this mean face, right? Let's roll again. And of course, not many people wanted to roll again. They're like, dude, what the hell's wrong with this guy, right? Like, what is his issue? I'm here to train and have a good time and get away from all the BS outside of the gym, right? And now I have this young kid who wants to rip my head off. So I'd go 10 times harder and try to get the submission. And when I would leave that day, even if I got the submission, it didn't matter. I would be playing that situation over and over again in my head, but I wouldn't be learning from it. I wouldn't be thinking about, hey, how can I improve? Instead, I would be just pissed that it happened. So it was a bad mindset. It was a bad way to go about this. And so what I would invite you to do is you have to change the way that you think about the situation when you train, right? Because you have to have a little sour to go with the sweet. You have to tear things down to build them back up, right? And likewise in your game, you have to look at the failures and the screw-ups that you have in training as kind of a good thing. It's kind of a beautiful thing when you think about what's happening in your gym. You may not even realize this, right? But when you have a consistent training partner, you beat them today in order for them to beat you tomorrow, and then they beat, you go back and forth and you just have this dance with each other. Because what happens is if you beat someone, they're going to adjust to your game and evolve and then try to take advantage of your mistakes or your inadequacies that you have on the mat, and then you adjust and evolve and you build certain areas up, and then you do this thing and you build one another up. So think about it in that sense, rather than I'm trying to beat this person, me versus you, you're trying to help each other to build each other up, right? To pull each other up together, rather than simply I'm trying to beat my partner and have my hands like in victory over top of them. Does that make sense? Because that's a beautiful thing. I think it's really cool. Because if you're training for long enough, man, you will have these training partners. You guys will be like super close, like brothers, right? And again, you guys have been training with each other for so long that you built each other's games up. You help each other out. So that's what's really going on. You're part of a team. It's a singular sport, but you're building up. You're together. It's a team. Now, that's a mindset change, and so that takes time. It's usually a gradual process. And so something you can do sort of as a habit that can help train your body to turn this situation into a positive. When you lose to someone, when someone beats you, instead of getting angry, right, you'll probably have that knee-jerk reaction to where it starts to turn negative in your brain. And for me, again, like when negative thoughts get lodged into my brain, it's really hard to get rid of them, right? They cycle through my brain over and over and over again. So don't let that thought take root in your brain. Instead, as soon as you feel that knee-jerk reaction, you want to be angry, or frustrated when your partner beats you or gets the better of you, when the roll's over or after they catch you, after you tap out, whatever happens, man, dude, that was a slick sweep. That was an awesome submission, whatever. Or if you don't know what they did, maybe they did something that was pretty tricky. After the class is over, ask them, like, dude, what was that? That was slick, right? Because again, we want to grow together. And so if they did something, if they took advantage of a mistake that you made, figure it out. And what's going to happen is, one, this is going to train your body to interpret these situations as, instead of a negative, as a positive, because you're making it into a positive thing. You're like, man, good job with that submission. That was a slick arm bar, or whatever it is. Because you know that by them catching you today, you're going to build up and get better tomorrow. Does that make sense? And that's helped me out anyway. Again, this may not help you out, but that sort of situation has helped me out a ton by congratulating, or at least, turning that situation into a positive. That's helped me out a ton over the years, because again, I used to be so angry and frustrated by these types of situations. And the last thing that I'll say is that by having a clear head, by looking at the situation in a more positive light, you will then be able to take the mistakes that you're making, right? When you get caught in something during training, you have a lesson there, right? You have something that is telling you. It's saying, hey, listen, you screwed up somewhere. Try to look at it and say, what is it telling you? But if you're looking at this in such a negative way and you're getting pissed about it, you're not going to be able to do that, because you're going to be too clouded by anger. you need to be able to say, like, look, clear-headedly and objectively, right? Be like, I think this is what I'm doing. This is a mistake I made. I left my arm out here, or my foot was here, whatever it is, and look at it in that sense, that sort of sense. And I promise you, will help you out. So again, if you're having trouble with a mindset / ego problem when you're rolling with anyone, not even just similarly skilled opponents, just anyone, try to do that. Look at it as a different situation. Remember, you're building each other up together. Train your body to look at it in a positive light by, thanking your training partners, congratulating them. Just be, dude, that was slick. That was awesome. Cool. Because that's going to build you up later on. And then likewise, take the mistakes that are being made whenever you get beat and learn from them.
Get a grip.